Hello, everybody, and welcome back to TJ's Talk Show on this Thursday afternoon. And we got a couple of topics. I know last night I mentioned I would talk about the Huskies and their playoff hopes, but I'm going to save that for tomorrow after the kind of day and night that happened yesterday after the show. First off, we'll start in the college ranks, where the number 21 Oregon Ducks knocked off the number 2 UCLA Bruins, who were then undefeated at 13-0. The Bruins opened up the Pac-12 play as well as the Ducks last night at Matt Knight Arena in Eugene, and it was a good game all the way around. The Ducks beat the Bruins 89-87, and like I said, that knocked off the undefeated number 2 ranked UCLA Bruins with a tough road game in Eugene, and the Ducks are surging after their rough start where they lost 2 out of their first 4, and I mean now they're 12-2 overall, and 1-0 in the conference. UCLA falls to 13-1 and 0-1 in Pac-12 play, where the big name was Dylan Brooks with the Oregon Ducks, who put up 23 points, led the game. It was a game high, and he also hit the game-winning three-pointer that hit with 0.8 seconds left in the game to seal the victory. They were down 1 at the time. Dylan Brooks goes down the full length of the court, throws up a 3 off balance, and hits nothing but the bottom of the net. The Ducks upset the Bruins. For the Bruins, Thomas Welsh, the 7-foot center, led the way scoring-wise. He went with 20 points. Was 8 of 11 from the field, added 4 free throws. He got a double-double, and he hadn't played in the last 4 games leading up to this Pac-12 opener. So good for Welsh to get that double-double. He added 10 rebounds in the first game of conference play. That is a huge. I mean, yes, they lost, but you know what? That's huge to still get that double-double from your big guy. From the big guys down low. And like I said, he also led the team with 10 rebounds. 5 were on the offensive side, so anytime you can get those second, third chance points, that's going to really benefit the team. And, he did his part. He was 8 of 11 from the field and just couldn't do it and couldn't do everything. Dylan Brooks led the team for the Ducks with 9 rebounds, and on the offensive side, Aaron Holiday of the Bruins led the game with 7 assists. He added 5 points. He had a tough night from the field, going 2 of 10. So you're typically not going to. Your point guard really needs to step up a little bit more. He is only a sophomore, so you can't put all the blame on him. He's still young and growing, but 2 of 10 from the field isn't going to help. Isn't going to contribute very much. And for the Ducks, it was Peyton Pritchard, the freshman out of West Linn, Oregon, led the Ducks with 9 assists. He almost got that double-double. He added 15 points as well. He shot an efficient 5 of 8 from the field, 3 of 5 from deep. So that's huge for the Ducks to be able to get that deep threat. Even though they didn't shoot the ball very well from 3, they shot 36% from deep, and UCLA shot 44%. And it's hard. The biggest thing that got the Ducks this win was the turnover battle. UCLA turned the ball over 14 times. Oregon only 9, because UCLA outshot the Ducks 53% for the Bruins overall on the field, and the Ducks shot 44%. So, that turnover battle, was the key to this success, I guess you could say, for the Ducks. The Ducks had 6 steals, which is huge to go along with 19 assists as a team. And the Ducks just only 15 team fouls throughout the game, so you're really limiting the free throw attempts. The Bruins went 8 of 12 from the line last night for 66%, and the Ducks do what they do well. If they're not hitting the three ball, and that's get to the line. And they went 18 of 25 last night against the Bruins, and that's good for 72%. So you add winning the turnover battle and converting on your free throws, and just getting to the foul line, just giving yourself a chance to get a few extra points, rest up even the slight 15, 20 seconds that it takes. It can make a big push. And when you outscored your opponents by 10 points at the line and you win by 2, you're pretty happy about that, with both teams making 11 three-pointers, so you're even there. So you pretty much went shot for shot with the number 2 team in the country, and then you out-attempted them at the line by 10, and you come out with a 2-point victory. Those are some pretty good keys to success for the Ducks. That's something they got to really try to work on as well. I believe they face the Trojans of USC. I believe that game will be on Wednesday. It might be. Let me check real quick. Actually, that'll be tomorrow, Friday. Obviously, it can't be Wednesday. Today's Thursday. But no, tomorrow, the 30th, the Trojans, who were in Corvallis facing the Beavers, who were able to squeak out a 7-point win over the Beavers, the Trojans did, will travel to Matt Knight Arena to go against the Ducks, who haven't lost in quite a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-game winning streak for the Ducks now with this win. But you really Dylan Brooks is going to have another big game for the Ducks tomorrow against the number 22 USC Trojans. But big news was just, Oregon coming out with that huge win over the number 2 UCLA Bruins. That'll not only help their top 25 rankings, but it also dropped the Bruins, who I would assume goes definitely out of the top 5, maybe into that 6 to 10 range, maybe 11, depending on how the rest of the top 10, 15 fared. UCLA or USC ranked 21 or 22, so they'll move up with their win over Oregon State, and Oregon will definitely move up in the rankings after tomorrow. I guess they don't come out with rankings till Sunday or Monday, so expect the Ducks to be competitive tomorrow night against the Trojans, and let's see what happens. And now let's go over to the game that I mainly talked about all segment last night, and that is the Trailblazers versus Sacramento Kings. The Blazers on a terrible skid, a 6-game losing streak, losing 10 out of 11. And they got the job done last night. They beat the Kings 102-89. So they answered a few questions last night that I, imposed, that you got to keep DeMarcus Cousins out of the paint as much as possible. And it looked like they did a pretty good job of that. He went 8 of 19 from the field, 3 of 6 from deep, and 9 of 10 from the line. So you got to cut down those fouls on Cousins, because he's a pretty good free throw shooter for a big guy, obviously going 9 of 10. He added 28 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. The big thing, he only played 35 minutes, probably mainly because it was a little bit of foul trouble early in the first half. It finished with 5 fouls, so they couldn't quite push him out of the game, which would have given him a couple extra points. Not that they needed it. But yeah, 28 points for DeMarcus Cousins after he put up 55 a week ago on you. That's a win. Matt Barnes started at the small forward position, added 13 points. He was 5 of 11 from the field, so not very helpful there. 13 points, 5 rebounds. That's kind of what's expected out of Barnes. Kosta Koufis went 3 of 3 from the field. He only played in 23 minutes. I'm assuming the Blazers went with the smaller lineup most of the game, so he was outmatched on his defensive end. He added 6 points, 3 of 3 from the field, and 10 total rebounds. So you can't complain there. Kosta Koufis is not known for his scoring ability, and just his rebounding, and he did that. 10 rebounds in 23 minutes. That's pretty good there. Darren Collison, 2 for 7 from the field, added 6 points, 5 assists. Ben McLemore, off night, 19 minutes from Ben McLemore, 5 points, 2 steals, a turnover, 2 of 9 from the field. Garrett Temple came off the bench for the Kings, and he was their spark plug. 31 minutes, went 6 of 13 from the field, added 14 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. And Ty Lawson also came off the bench, 2 of 8 from the field, and 1 3-pointer, a few extra free throws. He added 8 as well. But, the biggest thing is holding everyone else, at bay. You contained DeMarcus Cousins the best anyone can contain him. Last week he torched you for 55 and you made an adjustment. And you only let him get 28 last night. So that's a huge accomplishment for Coach Stotts and the Blazers, who are again without Damian Lillard. The Kings were without Rudy Gay, who I think would have changed the whole dynamic of this game. But regardless, they had to play it without Rudy Gay and Aaron Aflalo. And the Blazers had to play without their big name, Damian Lillard. And I mentioned yesterday that everyone besides CJ McCollum would have to step up in the 10 to 15 point range. Guys like Aminu, Mo Harkless, Alan Crabb, Myers Leonard, Evan Turner. And you know what? I doubt they heard me, but they definitely answered the call. Al-Farouq Aminu only had 8 points coming out of the starting lineup, but 7 rebounds, 2 assists. He does a lot of good things. He does a lot of things that don't go in the box score. He box outs. He prevents back cuts. That long wingspan affects shots, and he did his part, even though he only contributed 8 points. But Mo Harkless came out strong, added 12 points, hit a couple 3-pointers. And the biggest thing with that, Harkless started at the 4 last night, so he was guarding DeMarcus Cousins. And DeMarcus Cousins was guarding Harkless. Early in the game, Harkless hits a 3, and that really changes the whole defensive scheme for the Kings, because that forced Cousins to come out of that paint area and having to, respect Harkless in that 3-ball, which opened it up for Plumlee down low, who added 12. Alan Crabb, who's a good slasher, he had a 13. McCollum could attack the rim knowing that DeMarcus wasn't down there, and he got 20 himself. And, it helped when Kosta Koufos only plays 23 minutes out of the game. So over half the minutes, you don't have that big presence down there who can, contest shots and layups and rebound and all that. So Mo Harkless was the big key last night with hitting those 2 3-pointers throughout the game, because that drew out DeMarcus Cousins from his comfort zone. And like I said, Mason Plumlee, 12 points, 14 rebounds, 4 of 6 from the field in 23 minutes. That's exactly what you need night in and night out from a guy like Plumlee, who's a high-energy guy, motor's always full throttle, and it showed yesterday. Alan Crabb, they threw him all that money to keep him there. 13 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, a block. Hit 3 3-pointers last night. So that is huge for Alan Crabb. Added a few free throws as well. And then C.J. McCollum, 20 points, led the way for the Blazers. 6 of 7 from the charity line. But the big name, and I definitely know I made a point of it last night, was Myers Leonard. Not a huge fan of him, but he needed to come out and really, contribute. And he did that last night. He went 3 of 6 from deep, good for 16 points. Added 5 rebounds and a block and an assist. So he's the guy that I think, even though I don't like him, he's going to have to really step up night in and night out, as well as Harkless, Crabb, Aminu, until Lillard gets back, and even after that part, because they're all going to stay in the rotation, and they're going to have to really come in and support and help out. The Blazers play tomorrow against the Spurs in San Antonio. I'm going to go with the Spurs there in that game. And that's all the time I have. Sorry to cut it short.